honor. We'll do two parts. The blessing, the blessing. There was a book by Gary Smalley called The Way Back 30. It was the most incredible book because it's exactly where I was at in my relationship with my family and with my father. And so has been valuable in my life, and I hope it will be valuable in your life. The big idea is that the blessings help build esteem in a child or a friend or a parent. We need blessings in all relationships. It's sadly to say we don't have them. Everybody needs unconditional love, acceptance, and approval. Can I hear an amen? Amen. Amen. Oh, come on. Say louder than that. Amen. We all need love, acceptance, and approval. Now tell me, how often do you get it? Not very often. Not often. It's a hard commodity to come by. Broken people seek to find these things in wrong ways. If you're not receiving unconditional love, acceptance, and approval, you will go looking for them, and 9 times out of 10, you'll put it in a bad, destructive type of way. You will be trying your external performance to feel like a somebody inside. We are hollow inside because of sin. We are broken because of sin. We have a very poor, from birth, self-esteem because of sin. And we learn to do our external performances to try to make us a somebody on the inside. It will never work out. Today we'll go through the blessing of meaningful touch, the blessing of spoken words of love, the blessing of expressing high value that you are a treasure. I would like you to take some notes for your life. On the bottom of the sheet of paper, it says, what was missing and affected your life as a kid? As a parent, what is missing in your children's life? Do you feel that you got enough of the blessing as a kid? Will you eventually pass on to your kids, to your grandkids, to your parents, to your mates? Okay? So does everybody have an outline? If you don't, raise your hand and we will definitely get you one. So we are going to stop periodically and let you reflect. Hopefully, I get to be here 6 months, once a year for the rest of my life. And we hope that's a long time. And I will always have a so what. At the end of my sermon, my teaching time, I'll have a Monday morning so what. It doesn't really matter what you hear. It matters what you do. So often, if you would ask parishioners 2 days later, what did your pastor preach on? Or what was his main bullet points? The average parishioner doesn't even remember. So I want to take time at the end of each of our services to drive in. What are we going to do with this truth this coming week? And so I call it Monday morning, so what? And I want you to leave here with some so what principles that you're going to work on your life. That you're going to maybe go back and work with your parents or work with your kids. Maybe you go back and say, Mom and Dad, I was sorry. I wasn't a very good son or daughter. Would you forgive me? Maybe as parents, we have to go back and say, son or daughter, would you forgive me? I wasn't a very good parent. I failed. We need to have ability to and heal the brokenness in our lives. A gardener needs to know the key elements to have a healthy plant. A flower can't grow unless it has the 5 necessary elements of life. Every needs time out. I am not a monologue preacher. I am a dialogue preacher. I am an interactive preacher. I want my audience to be thinking with me and commenting and talking back and forth and sharing your wisdom. I bet you there's at least 3 people in this room that have a great sense of humor. And when I ask for that participation, if you got something funny to say, tell it. If you've got something serious, tell us. If you've got something you disagree, tell us. But interact. So your head and your heart and your life is going to own this and not let it go through one ear and out the other. Understand with me? Okay, every flower needs 5 things. What are those 5 things? What's one of them? Sun, what else? What else? What else? What else? I missed it. Oh, she's really technical. I'm not that smart. They said carbon dioxide. So we got soil, water, air. What's the last one? Love. There you go. A secure place to grow. Now, when these 5 basic ingredients are present, it's almost impossible to keep a flower from growing. By the way, I understand language difficulties because I found Polish hard to improvement. It was so difficult. So I know we come from different languages, different parts of the world. My son is in England. He married a British girl. I have 5 British grandkids. They speak English. The United States speaks English, but it's not the same English. So even when we talk to our grandkids, they will turn to their parents and say, "What did Grandpa say? What did Grandma say?" And we're using English. So I try to be as helpful as I can. So most of my stuff I'll have printed up here, so you can read it and hear it, and it shouldn't get lost in the translation. Okay, you with me? A little more work, but I want you to walk away with some really good stuff. The blessings work the same as a gardener. When the blessings are given, a child or a person blossoms. When the blessings are withheld, a person withers. In my home, I didn't feel I got loved or I was loved as my wiring system and soul desired it. Father was kind of aloof. He paid the bills. He would sit in the chair, watch TV, but he would never connect with me emotionally. My mother was a perfectionist, so she always told me how to do it perfect, but it was never enough. I did not feel loved and valued and the blessing in my home. And do you know what? I have spent the rest of my life looking to my performance to make me a somebody on the inside. Does that make you understand performance? Activities is the anesthetic that deadens the pain of an empty life. Activities is the anesthetic that deadens the pain of an empty life. You doctor students know that. So what I'm saying is, I excelled in sports. I was all captain, all in sore. I got to play college football, some basketball. But no matter how much I excelled, I still found on the inside. And it comes back from my parenting, my familiar background. Now, my dad loved me. He helped pay me through school. He helped me get my first job. He gave me money. When I was 30 years old, I didn't value his money. But now at 68 years old, I value his money. I understand that it was his way of loving, but it didn't tune in to who I was. And possibly you have parents. So we struggle with performance and activities to heal that brokenness inside of us. The blessing of meaningful touch. Sadly, as a child gets older, we tend to touch them less. Oh, give them a kiss. Love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. But yet, as they get there, we don't give them a kiss on the cheek or lips or whatever your culture does. We pull back physically from them. Well, that doesn't make any sense, but somehow that's the habit we have in, pardon? Even how old? How old? How old is he? 6. Okay, so yes, exactly. It gets all mixed up, doesn't it? Lack of physical touch can drive a child to see it in wrong ways. UCLA research found just to maintain emotional and physical health, people need to receive 10 meaningful touches every day. Not only children, but adults need physical touch. Now, physical touch can be a lot of things. It could be a gentle touch, it could be a stroke, a kiss, a hug, a hand on the shoulder, but just some way to communicate between one human being and another human being, love and care. How many of you know what type A driven men are? What that means? What's a type A driven man? Talk loud, nice and loud, go. Uptight, okay, what else? Huh? Focus, what else? Help me, help me, help me, help me. Perfectionist. Goal-orientated. Driven. He would walk through a wall to accomplish goals. Driven men. Do you know? How many of you are a driven man? Type A, raise your hand. Nobody's going to admit that, but I want to show you something. Watch this. Type A driven men who daily hug their wives will increase their life by 2 years. So be self-aware. If you want to live longer, hug your wife. Get that physical touch and that connection between you. Neglect of meaningful touch will drive them into the arms of the wrong people. God made us to need physical love from parents. How many of you know about Marilyn Monroe? Okay? She was, you call it Merlene instead of Marilyn. On this one window, I see the picture of her and they say Marilyn. Marilyn Monroe was a famous Hollywood actress. She was beautiful. She had a body. She had all the men in the world attracted to her. Her parents died, and she was put into an adoption home. And she was moved from one adoption home or orphanage to another one, to another one, to another one. At age 16, she escaped and married a boy. She was hoping that this was going to meet that physical needs for her life. It ended up, she divorced him. She was married 3 times. She had sexual relationships with many men, some very famous in America men. But no matter how much sex she had, she was looking for love. She wasn't looking for sex. She was looking for love. And she was like a blind person going out like this because she never got it in her home. When she was about 7 years old, a journalist asked her, "Have you ever felt like love, Marilyn?" The journalist said no. Marilyn said no. Oh, once it was. When I was 7 years old, the orphanage lady was sitting down putting her makeup on, and I was sitting there watching, and she leaned over and took her powder puff. I don't use those things, so I don't even know what to call those things. And she touched my cheek, she said. Now, the lady wasn't being love or warmth. She was just being silly with her. But Marilyn said she could remember all the way back to how that was like a drop of water in a thirsty soul. She so hungered to be loved. Girls frequently seek love, get pregnant. They don't necessarily want to be pregnant. They want to be loved. Now, girls, let me tell you something that no boy is ever going to tell you. You with me? We're all adults. There's no kids in the room. Girls want to be loved. Boys want sex. When a guy is telling you in your ear, "I love you, I love you, I love you," he's really saying, "I want sex, I want sex, I want sex," I would not believe his words at all until he married you. And he puts his commitment on the line and said, I'll show you I want love, that I love you. So please follow God's principles of refraining from sex until marriage. You will never know what that guy's motives are, because he is so convoluted in his brain. What he thinks is love and is really sex in his brain. And you're never going to know until you hold him off, wait to get married God's way, and then enjoy that wonderful sex. God created it. It's wonderful. But it's meant for marriage. And so women, be wise and discerning. Sadly, this is why some girls have become prostitutes. They don't desire sex, but they yearn to be touched and held and loved. Isn't it sad? When you don't get love as a child, you will end up desperately looking for it in other directions. Do you know why some men are homosexuals, or some people transgender or let's say homosexual? According to Dr. Ross Campbell, there's an absence of touch by fathers. Dr. Campbell says, in all my reading and experience, I've never known of a sexually disorientated person who had a warm, loving, and affectionate relationship with their father. All the baggage we bring into our adulthood, most of it comes because of brokenness in the home that we were brought up in. Meaningful touch can protect a child from looking for love in the wrong places. There was a high school girl named Dorothy. Brand new school day, new school year. The teacher said, let's go around and let's get to meet each other. So I want you to say your name, and I want you to say one thing you like about yourself and one thing you don't like about yourself. So we went around the room and everybody answered. And Dorothy was sitting in the back, her head down, her red hair down over her face, and she just was trying to hide and escape. She didn't want to have to say anything. The teacher recognized she was the last one. And the teacher walked over and said, Dorothy, or what is your name? And what do you like and what don't you like about yourself? Did you hear me, honey? Did you hear me? What is your name and what don't you like? What do you like about yourself? Dorothy, in frustration, stood up, pulled her hair back, and said, see, look at this ugly birthmark on my face. This is what I don't like about myself. Do you know what that teacher did? That teacher came over, gave her a hug, kissed her on her birthmark. It was big and bright and red and ugly. He kissed her on her birthmark. You know what Dorothy did? Dorothy sat down and she cried uncontrollably for 20 minutes. And everybody in the classroom came over and tried to console her. Finally, at the end of 20 minutes, Dorothy kind of got composure. And then the teacher also kissed her, hugged her, and said, God and I think you are beautiful. She cried, she got control. She said, never in my life have my parents ever told me that. Never in my life have my parents ever hugged me, told me I'm lovable. In fact, she says, my mom has never put her hands on my face. She said, I feel like a leper. And most of that child, she bad pain in her life. Isn't that sad? Why did the parents so unloved, loved, and cared for? Touch is important for all human beings, particularly children growing up. I can never remember my dad saying he loved me or hugged me. Never. Never. I started a ritual with my kids because of this need for love in my heart. So I started a practice. Honey, my daughter, I told you I love you today. Son, have I told you I loved you today? Have I given you a hug and a kiss today? I'm not sure you want the kid. You might take the hug. And have you given it to me? My love tank has a hole in it. Broken people have holes in their love tank. When you pour love in, it falls out the bottom. So most people have an empty love tank. And the blessings are Band-Aids that you can put on the holes in the love tank. So when love is poured in, it's kept, it's felt. And so I started this habit with my kids because I didn't get it in my home. And I wanted to pass it on to my children. Meaningful touch is important. It can protect a child from looking for love in the wrong places. Look at your sermon outline. How did your family do under point 1? Or look at the questions at the bottom. What would you change? What do you need to heal? What Band-Aids? What broke? What do you need to go back and work through with your parents? What, as a parent, what do you need to go back and work with your kids? Monday morning, so what? Please don't just listen and nod your head and smile and say, oh, good stuff. But if you leave it here and don't take it with you, big deal. So please take a couple of moments. Make some mental thoughts. Ask Jesus to open your eyes to say, Jesus, am I broken in this first category? And Jesus, heal my heart. The blessing of spoken words of love. Sticks and stones may break, but the rest of it, how many say that's true? What do you think? Is it true? Come on, speak up. Is it true? Wrong! Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. The tongue can destroy. What out of our mouth is so evil at times. It can destroy relationships and other people and people's perception. Words have incredible power. You know about Mean Mike? His name wasn't Mean Mike, it was just Mike. But it was a nickname given him when he was little. He was about 1.5 years. And when you would give him a toy to hold on to, and then you try to take the toy away, he would hold on to that. Oh, he was so strong. And everybody in the family thought that was funny. So some smart aleck in the family said, it's Mean Mike. Let's call him Mean Mike. Because he was so strong and so determined. And you know what? That nickname stayed with him for his whole life. Now, when he played football and played sports, he was tough. But because it was driven into him that his name is Mean Mike, that he was totally insensitive and unable to have relationships with people. In fact, do you know where Mean Mike is today? He's in prison in Arizona. Because it started at home. And people weren't very sensitive and didn't understand how this was putting a thumbprint of destruction by words. In your home, did your mom or dad ever sarcastically use words to describe you? Did your brothers or sisters ever use words sarcastically to describe you? Are your friends? When I was in 4th grade, I was the fattest kid in the school. And I see myself, my self-perception of myself as I am very fat. It doesn't always show in the mirror. Well, it does a little, but not the way in my childhood was. And so our perceptions. Mike had words of evil said about him. Dan had words of nothing. The parents were so busy with work, so busy with jobs, so busy with fixing up a new house. The only thing they did for Dan was they fed him, they washed his clothes, and gave him a place to stay. He never heard words of affirmation, of love, appreciation, or value. And so One day when he was in about 3rd or 4th grade, his report card came home. And he got all A's or all 5s. He got all A's or all 5s. His parents jumped up and down. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, you're a wonderful son. You're so smart. We think you're so wonderful. And he said, oh, so if I perform at a high excellence, I will get your attention. From then on, he just poured himself into excelling in school. The boys and the kids would be outside playing, and he wouldn't go out. He would study because he was thirsty for affirmation of love and acceptance and value. But you can only be in school for so long, so he graduated. He became a young executive. And you know what he did? He became a workaholic. He thought if I could perform well and excel in my job, it would make me a somebody. He would buy a new car and he would drive up into his parents' driveway. Now my parents will think I'm valuable because of my new car, my new house, my wealthy possessions. It wasn't for him that he wanted these possessions, but he wanted to be valued and accepted and loved by his parents. Is not amazing the thumbprints that our parents put on us from a young age up until today? Why is it so hard to speak words of blessing? Somebody says, I don't want to inflate my child's ego. What a stupid conclusion. I'm afraid if I praise them, they will take advantage of me and won't finish their work. Communication is too much like office work, and I work office all day long and I don't want to do it. I just don't know what to say. They know I love them without me having to say it to them. If I get started, I will have to make a habit of it. Wouldn't that be a shame? Telling children their good points, one parent said, is like putting on perfume. A little is okay, but putting on too much in it stinks. Isn't it crazy? But the logic parents of why they don't want to praise their kids. Thirdly and lastly, the lesson of expressing high value is a treasured gift, attaching high value and great importance. Parents need to say, I value you as a person created by God, and a, what does it say? And a what? A gift. You are a gift to our household from God. You are precious. Particularly when I don't like what they're doing or I'm disappointed with my child's behavior, I need to reassure them they are valued or they will feel insecure. I tell your children often, you are a precious gift of God to us. It's an honor and privilege to have you in our home. Did your parents ever tell you that? That you're a gift from God, that you're an honor and blessing to be in our home? Why didn't they? What kept them back? Now, when you become parents, will you do it to them? And oh, by the way, parenting doesn't come with a big, thick book of how to do it. There's a few verses in the Bible. And then you have to pray James 1 for wisdom. And then it makes it confusing. All your children are different. So what is important to you of the 5 blessings might not be important to you. It might not be important to you. I could be giving you one of the blessings, but it's important to her, so I'll give it to you. So you have to know the distinct wiring system of each child that you have in your house. A picture is worth 1,000 words. If you multiply it, each word. As a father, you are a special treasure to me. Do you know what a metaphor is? A like as? Now, in my house, it's pretty important. So on my birthday or my anniversary, my wife would buy me a basketball, leather basketball. And you don't take a leather basketball outside because you're going to scratch it up on the concrete. You only can use it on wood floors. And if my kids were playing with it, oh no, bring it back here. So they knew that basketball was really important in my heart. So I think you're so special, son or daughter. You're so special to me. You're like a new leather basketball. So there's a picture of, say, Dad values this, he values that. I have a million books in my library. And my kids want to take their crayons or their colored pencils and open up my books to write it. Oh, no, no, no! You can't do that. These books are valuable to Dad. And as a father now, the metaphor is, I treasure you as my books in my library. I'm fortunate enough to go to Israel, and I have art. And she says, I value you like my dolls, my antiques. Mom also had an active. Nobody, even me, fingerprint on you, get in big trouble. And she says, I value you as much as my computer. You're a treasure to me. Did your parents ever tell you that? Did your parents ever say you're a special treasure? What metaphor would you use to express your child's values to you? What metaphor would you use? First three blessings we've looked at. Monday morning, so what? What are you going to carry out of here? You have one action for your parents, your children, one action step for Monday morning. Raise your hand. And when the majority has raised their hands, we'll close. Otherwise, I'll wait. You have a Monday morning so what action for your life. Your life is. Can you take something here and say, Monday, pony shower, Monday morning, we're going to take and I'm going to act out. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to just hear it. I'm going to go do it. Do you have an action step for your life? Was all that effort worth it? Mothers, Proverbs 31. This is in your Bible, 31, 28, 21. Mom got up early and went to bed late and worked hard for her family. What was their response? Her children call her blessed. Her husband also blesses her and he praises her for it. Many women have done well. You have excelled them all. Hopefully someday your children will be able to write you a letter like Proverbs 31, praising you for all the benefits of growing up in your home and having you as parents. Father, we just ask that somehow it wouldn't be just listened to, but it would move in the heart, that you would take the blinders off the eyes to see what was missed in their childhood, that they can then, how that has affected them, how they can heal that up, how they can pass it on to their children. Father, we ask that this Mother's Day would be a special Mother's Day, and we can tell moms, thank you for the blessings that they have poured into our life. In your name we pray.